Right, you lot. So I wasn't going to do any more to this truck until I got the servos and all that kind of stuff. But I can't just not do nothing. You know, I tidied the bench up and you know, I had a general tidy up around and done some other bits and bobs. And then that was it. And I thought, let's do some more to this truck. Now, the thing was, when I took it out for that first ever run, the engine wasn't at its best. So, and then it stopped, didn't it? It just cut out in the middle of actually driving. It just stopped. So let's have a look at that and just make sure that's all fine. Right, let's move over to this bench for this one. I don't want to get nitro all over the other bench. So we'll use this glow starter. I've been having a bit of a sort out of glow starters, to be honest. Got a load more glow starters that I don't want. Some they all work, but I don't need more than 3 or 4, do I? So anyway, let's prime this up. I'm going to try and work out what that does. I've got no radio gear in it. There is a servo, the throttle servo, but no radio gear, so can't use the transmitter. But we can prime it up and we can still start it. And we'll see whether it's going to run all right or not. Right, she turns over okay. Well, I thought she was going to be a bit stiff because, I don't know, she just started to sound a bit rough, I thought. Here we go. It does sound a bit tight, but I don't know, I think it's alright. I think I just need a tune up and a blast, to be honest. Quite tempted to get rid of this, you know. I mean, this has been sat up on the shelf now for years. It was in a loft for many years and it's been sat on the shelf for many years. What have we got under here? Look. Oh, this is all the bits and bobs for the throttle and that. And oh, a little bit of mesh there. I think that was supposed to go somewhere. But yeah, this has been sat on the shelf now for years. I'm quite tempted to get rid of it because, to be honest, I probably won't use it. I mean, I got my other one up there. What I was going to do, the plan was to get a or to make a carpet racing, you know, arena. That was the plan. I might still do it if I can, but that's why I've got this. This one's from the 1980s. Let's take the shell off and you can have a look. It's pretty, well, it is very old school because it's from the 1980s. You've got servo, which then controls the speed controller there, and obviously you've got a steering servo under there, Futaba, both Futaba servos, and then you've got your radio gear here, more Futaba, and that, is that what that one was for? I can't remember now. I think I did use that one on it, but it just needs a battery in there and that, but I'll probably will never ever use it. Very, very simple. These are Mardave, and you can still buy these kits today, and that's what that one is. That's a 2014. I got that one 2014. This one's from 1980 something or another. You know, very basic carpet racing car. But I'm quite tempted. If any of you lot would be interested in this, let me know. But it's hand painted shell. I got that one as well, but I think I'll keep that one, put it on the other one over there. But it would come with this shell because this is the one that was on it. I bought it from a bloke, obviously called Dave Mann, I suppose. Then it sat in the loft for many years, and then that's when I got it down and put it on the shelf, because I did intend on using it. My original plan was to, that's why I bought the new one. Some people call it carpet racing, some people call it oval circuit racing and stock car rate, whatever you want to call it. I planned on getting the new one and using the old vintage one every now and again, you know, just have a little bit of a track going on, but it never happened. But yeah, I think I might, yeah, I'm pretty tempted to get rid of this, sell this, in order to fund the old Savage build here. That should help fund an engine. That should help, well, I don't need the servos now, I need to fund the engine, and I've got a few more little trick pieces, as some people call, in my head that I want to get for this. That probably some of you won't expect. So I think that will be one of the, I think I will, yeah, very tempted to. Let me know if anyone's interested. Well, by the time this video goes live, it might already be sold, but probably not, I wouldn't have thought. I can't see many people wanting to buy something like this these days at the moment. By the way, I hope everybody's still being polite and courteous in the comments and in other videos of other people, but mainly in the comments of these videos. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I was brought up with you know, the banners of oh man, many things. You know, never, it's weird, isn't it? Never shake a man's hand while sitting down. Although, you know, I'm bad at handshakes anyway. You know, never tell a man what to do with his money, how to spend his money, that sort of stuff. Always be polite. That's the way I was brought up. But yes, I want to see loads of manners in them comments. Thank you. Well, there we go. I've just taken pictures of it. These spare parts, and I've found as well the other crystal, if that's going to be needed, because there's a crystal in that receiver. This is the other crystal that would go in the transmitter. I'm not going to sell a transmitter with it, however I will sell that other transmitter if the person wants a transmitter. But there we go. Sweet. That is, hopefully that should fetch a reasonable amount of money to fund the Savage build. Hello you lot, how's it going? Hope you're all absolutely fantastic. That's a lovely Thursday evening, and I thought to myself, let's just play around a little bit with these Nitro stuff before the end of the day. I think I'll just give this a bit of a clean. I think got both these two running engines now. All the other engines I've got, the only other one I've got to get running is this one up here. And there's another two I'm going to show you in a minute. But this one, I need to get running. I could probably stick this exhaust on it and a gasket, that'll be fine. This one come all the way from Holland, I do believe. Along with the other two that I'm going to show you in a minute. They come from Holland. Where they're originally from, I don't know, but I got them from a person in Holland. This particular one here is made in Italy. I need to put a bell on it. But it's obviously starter box only, so I'm not quite sure why it's got this bit of metal poking out the end there for the throttle. It's obviously rigged up on something or another at some point. But it's a pretty funky looking engine, and I really like it. It's like an old style motorbike engine. Anyway, so I'll get this running at some point. I'll have to rig it up somehow and try and get it started, but it turns over perfectly fine. Loads of compression and all that kind of stuff there, so that's another one that I need to get running. I'll show you the other two in a minute. Oh, you lot won't believe what happened to me earlier on today, right? It's got nothing to do with RC, but I'll tell you the story because it might make some of you chuckle. It bloody well made me chuckle. So I was on my way to work. I'm in a little bit of traffic. It's two lanes, right? But the right lane is to go right, and obviously the left one is to go straight on, right? So I'm in this left lane because I want to go straight on at these traffic lights, and there's a bit of traffic there where I'm sitting there, yeah. And this car pulls up next to me on the right, in the right lane, but he don't want to turn right. He wants to get in my lane and go straight on. So he pulled up next to me, and I'm like, he winds his passenger window down, and he says, "Here, mate, any chance you could let me in?" Right, let him in front of me. So I looked down, And I noticed he'd only got 3 wheels. The back passenger wheel was completely missing. I said, dude, I don't think you should be going anywhere. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, you've only got 3 wheels. He went, what? What do you mean? I said, well, you've only got 3 wheels. The back wheel there on this side, passenger side, it's missing completely. He said, what? Completely? I said, yeah, there's not even a rim. You've got nothing there at all. He said, well, let me have a look. I said, get out and have a look. He got out, walked around, had a look, and he went, oh yeah, you're right. I said, I know I'm right. He said, I wonder where that went. I said, I don't know. I said, what are you going to do now? He said, I don't know. I'll have to find a wheel. So then he got in his car, right, drove off, turned right. Don't know where he went after that, but he only had 3 wheels. His car was like that, but he didn't even know. God knows where he'd come from and how long he'd been driving with only 3 wheels. But that was a bit of a comical start to the day at 5 o'clock this morning. But there you go. It certainly made me chuckle, and I've been chuckling about it for the whole day. Driving along and didn't even know he's missing a wheel. Anyway, let's get this going. Let's get this cleaned up and put back in the box. This is the box, the box that it come in, and just to address a couple of things. The button, I'm going to leave it as it is. If I can find an original button, you see this engine is a RB Concept TM 728, and as I've said many times before, I've been searching for an original button for it, and according to this parts diagram, the part number for the button is 01900-012. That's the part number for the button. I've searched that all over Google, eBay, but Google obviously does eBay as well, but I've searched everywhere. I've even just put in TM728, I've put in all kinds, I've just put in everything, and the only button I can find is in Australia, and they want an absolute fortune for it. Well, they don't want a fortune for the button itself, but it's the postage. But I might just bite the bullet and get it, but it runs perfectly fine with that other button in it that don't quite fit. So I will keep my eyes open. I won't stop the search. If I can find a button, you know, for this engine and in this country, or at least in a reasonable, don't matter where it is in the world, if I can find it with a reasonable postage price, because from Australia the postage price is more than the button costs. So I'm not really down for that. Anyway, so let's give this a clean up. I'll take the exhaust off, put some brake cleaner on it, put it in a tub, give it a scrub with a toothbrush, and I might even blow it off with a bit of air, and we should be able to get all that a lot cleaner. Then we can safely tuck it away in the box. And then after that, I'll show you the other 2 engines that I want to get running next. Am I the only one that thinks that sounds like a jet engine? Wonder how many RPMs that's going round with this air. Don't know how many bar that is. I can't remember. I can't see the gauge from here. What how much air pressure we've got left. But anyway, it's not perfect. You're all going to say, well, that's not very clean. But I've given it a brush off, you know, with the brake cleaner and a couple of brushes. It's a lot better than it was. So, well, I'll leave it there. So this can now go. I think I'll take off this exhaust gasket because I no doubt be looking for one. I have got quite a few of them somewhere, but I don't know where they all are. So I'll put that there. And now this can nice and snugly go inside that box. Just like that. There we go. Not very good around the phone, is it? But it's only going in there for a bit. I'm going to put it in the Savage at some point. I don't know when, so that's nicely tucked away back in its box. Now let's have a look at this other ones. Now there's another two. Let's put this one up here. There's another two engines that I want to get going, and they also come from Holland. There was at one point a subscriber called Chris who wanted to send me some engines, so he did. So we've got the box Rossi, we've got R21 HPS HTS. To be honest, don't know a lot about any of that, any of these type of engines. Made in Italy, and there's a website there we can probably look up. But anyway, let's have a look to see what we've got. So we've got two engines in here. The first little one, it's starter box out in here, can't fit a pull start or anything on there. Nice little carburetor, and also made in Italy. It's an LD Rossi LD, don't know how you pronounce it, but this will be a nice little engine to get going. It's supposed to be well, they're both supposed to be good running engines, and it turns over. But the one that I am excited about that one, but the one that I'm particularly excited about, even more excited about, is this one here. Now this is going to be this will be one of the next ones that we get going. It turns over nicely. There's enough compression there, even if you turn it backwards. There's still enough compression there. We've got a normal bell on there, not a vented one. A nice carburetor, all three, and that is working brilliantly. Do you know what? I'm really excited to get this going. Look at the shape of the head, man. It's fantastic, and it's a hopefully we can see that there. It's a Rossi HPS 2000. I understand these were good engines. Don't know how old it is, but I understand that they were or are good engines. And we can see in there the piston going up and down. Starter box only. So my plan is I might try and jam this in the buggy, one of the buggies, and see if I can get it to start in the buggy. Or the other option is I can rig it up on the vise with a block of wood and that, and I can get like a rubber wheel on the end of the drill, and just I can put it up to on the end of the flywheel there, and just touch it up against it just like a starter box does, and we should be able to start it that way. But that's going to be one of the next things. So if you like watching Nitro engines, you know, become running again after sitting for God knows how long. These had been sitting around for quite some time when I got them, and I've had them about 4 years, and they've been sitting on the shelf ever since. So if you like that sort of thing, I definitely recommend you stick around, because you know these engines, they will be running sometime soon. I can tell you that now. And then maybe we'll have a look and see what we can do with them. So I know that one come out of the MP9, that one runs. That's the old engine out of 21, that one runs. All of these T15s don't run. The only one I haven't really looked at is this one. My old boss gave me this about 13, 14 years ago, or no, more than that actually. About 2008, 2009, something like that, he gave me this engine, along with some buggies. So, what do you think? We should get this going at some point? That's a yes. Yeah, this will be another one that's on the agenda to get going and see what it's like. And the good thing is, we can stick a pull start on it. I thought that back plate weren't bolted on then, but it is, I think. So we can stick a pull start on that, or a roto start. I've got a back plate as well, so we'll see what that one's going to do. Nice one.
Are you upside down?
So if you like engines and you like seeing old Nitro engines getting running again, you could always stick around.
Or you could always think about subscribing.
I'll catch you later on, you lot. All the best. Look after each other, look after everyone, and look after yourselves most of all. I'll catch you later on. All the best.